Are you thinking about doing a through hike? Maybe of one of the long trails, the Appalachian Trail, the Pacific Crest Trail, the Continental Divide Trail? Well, if you are, you're gonna need to save your pennies. And I have some ideas on how you can do that. Hi, I'm Audrey. On trail I'm known as Glow Stick. I was a 2018 Appalachian Trail through hiker. And right now I'm saving up to do a through hike of the Pacific Crest Trail. So I've done a bunch of research on different things that you can do to make more money or save money. So I just wanted to share some of those tips in case they're helpful to some of you out there who would also like to do a through hike, but are unfortunately not independently wealthy and need to save up your money to do so. It costs between about $3,500 and $6,500 to complete a through hike of a long trail, according to the Trek, which does hiker surveys every year. According to the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, it costs about $1,000 a month that you're on trail, and typically people are on trail for about 5 to 7 months. So consider that's $5,000 to $7,000. So that's a lot of money to save up, and then you also have to save up money to start your life again afterwards if you're not lucky enough to keep your job. I wasn't. I had to get a new job when I was done, so it took me a few months to, find a job. I had to put down a security deposit on an apartment because I moved cities and I'm not a homeowner. So anyway, different types of things to think about in terms of money. And so you gotta save up. So without further ado, here are some ideas on how you can save up for your next through hike. Number 1, pay off your debts. Credit card, car payment, student loans if you can. I know that's not always possible. My student loans personally are massive, so I'm not gonna be paying those off anytime soon. But ahead of my AT through hike, I paid off all my credit card bills, and since then I paid off my car, so that's gonna decrease my amount of bills. And if you pay off your debts, you're not gonna be putting money into the interest payments every month. So that's automatic savings that carries over month to month to month. Number 2, consider getting a roommate. I know, roommates can be really tough. I spent many years with roommates. In the 7 years that I lived in Washington, D.C., I had roommates the entire time because it's a very expensive city, and I wasn't gonna be able to save up any money if I didn't have roommates. Once I moved to Boulder, I had a friend who was in between jobs, and it was after the AT when I was low on funds, and she was looking for a place to stay, and I let her come live with me for a few months. She kind of picked her own rent. But anyway, it helped me pay off some of my bills, including my car payment. So that's an option. If you're not a homeowner, or even if you are, you could rent out a room in your place, but it's a lot cheaper to live with people than it is to live on your own, even though personally, I freaking love living alone. And that's what I'm doing right now, is living alone. I couldn't be happier. But it was worth it for me to do it in order to hike the AT. So it is an option. Number 3, if you're a healthy woman of childbearing age, you could consider donating your eggs. I did this one time. It's a long process because you have to fill out a really long application, and then you have to have multiple interviews. You have to have a health exam, a psychiatric exam. You have to get chosen by a couple in order to donate your eggs, which can take a long time. But I did it, and I was paid $8,000 to do so. Granted, that was taxed by the federal government pretty heavily next tax season. But I mean, all in all, I made over $5,000 doing it. And for me personally, it was a really easy process. So if you are a healthy woman of childbearing age and you want to consider this and you have questions, feel free to reach out to me, because I personally had a really good experience. I mean, do your research, of course, there are health risks, but I had no ill side effects and I don't regret doing it. I hopefully helped a couple, reach their dream of having children, and I got to put that money toward paying off some of my bills after a pretty rough back surgery that I had. So anyway, that's an option for you. Number 4, clip coupons. I don't necessarily mean clip coupons out of the Sunday paper, although you can do that. If they still do that in the Sunday paper, I think they do. But anyway, I'm talking things like the Honey app, which searches whenever you buy something online. It's a plugin, and it will search for you to see if there are any coupon codes that you can use for your purchase. So I've saved a bunch of money using that. And then I know there are other different apps that you can use too, like coupons.com, I think, has an app. And I think Capital One just came up with a plugin that's very similar. So there are different options, but basically try to get the best price that you can online. 5, participate in focus groups. I know about these because I work in public relations, and so I've taken marketing classes, but there are basically marketing research groups that will pay you to give your opinion on different things. You can find these online. I did one last year. I found it on Craigslist, and a water company had hired this market research firm to talk to locals and get their opinions and find out what they knew about water and where their water was coming from, and how they could improve their communications about water. There are different websites that you can sign up for these online, or just do what I did and scour Craigslist. They're super easy, and honestly, I had a really fun time doing it. I was paid $75 for about an hour and a half of my time. It was after work one day. I just drove out to this place like 15 minutes away. And in addition to the $75, I was also given dinner. So it was a great deal for just an hour and a half of just giving my opinion. It was kind of fun. So look into focus groups. For discounts on your fitness memberships. A lot of gyms will have discounts for the place that you work. So company-wide discounts. So I used to pay for my climbing gym every month. I was paying like $80. And then one day I just realized like, hey, maybe my company has a discount at this gym. So I asked them. No one told me when I signed up. So I asked them, and it turned out they did. And now I'm only paying, I think, $64 a month. So that's $16 every month I'm saving, which isn't a ton, but like add it up over time and add it up with all these other little things that you're doing, and it does all add up in the end. I also used to clean my yoga studio in exchange for a free monthly membership. And if you do yoga, then you know that yoga is really expensive. It's like $100 a month at this place for the membership, which I didn't really have the money to pay that, but I just had to go in once a week and clean for 2 hours in the evening when no one was there, and I got a free yoga membership. So that might also be an option for you. It was super easy. It was really worth it for me. So that's something I would recommend to save money on. Get rewarded for your good health. So a lot of insurance companies, at least ones that I've had for my health insurance, will reward you if you are physically active. So I know at one of my old companies, I was able to get like $200 back per year to put toward my gym membership. I just had to prove that I was paying for that membership for at least 3 months. And at my current job, I have a fitness app with my health insurance, and I get paid $25 a month if I exercise at least 12 days out of the month for 30 minutes. So again, like $25 a month isn't huge, but that does add up over time. And if you're being active and healthy, it's free money. It's just rewarding you for your good health. So look into that. Cash in on your creativity. I have a friend who started an Etsy shop a couple of years ago. She makes beautiful home decor. She is a homesteader and she lives on a small farm, and she started making these beautiful, homesteader home decor signs and things like that. And she is already making about $20,000 a year from her Etsy shop. So if you have a skill, a talent, I'm not a super visually artistically talented person, but I know a lot of you out there are. So if you are, look into Etsy. It seems super easy, and if you enjoy things like that, you could actually make a lot of money doing it. Do you like dogs or cats? If so, you could look into the Rover app, which I do use to pet sit, and people will pay you either to go and stay at their house while they're out of town and take care of their pets, or if you're open to it, they can also send their pets to come stay with you, and you can set your rates, how much you want to be paid for that. And it's kind of an interesting way. I like to do it because, first of all, I love animals and I don't have any of my own right now. But second of all, you kind of get to stay in different parts of town, and it almost feels like a little vacation, just like a stay away that you get to go spend it with these cute animals and make money. It's a great deal. So look into that. Cut down on entertainment costs. Okay, this is more for non-COVID times, of course. But I used to work in an entertainment communication firm, and we used to set up advanced screenings of movies all the time that were totally free for people to go to. You can look into this. Just Google free advanced screenings of movies. And basically the reason that they do this is to try to get the right sort of audience, the target audience for the film, in to see the movies ahead of time. So then they'll talk to their friends and family and the rest, the other target audience people who will hopefully then want to go see the movie. So then you don't have to pay for a movie ticket and you get to see the movies in advance. I also used to enter contests all the time for radio stations give away tickets to free concerts all the time because it's another one of those marketing things. It's like they don't want there to be empty seats in concerts, right? Like that looks bad. So they give away tickets, and if a concert hasn't sold well, they'll give even more tickets. So I legitimately have probably gone to 10 concerts for free just by entering these radio contests. And I just do it online because I don't really listen to live radio very often. And you can just sign up online, just watch the radio stations. They usually have a section for contests. Just sign up and then hopefully you'll win like I did. And then of course, on entertainment costs, I'm bad about I like to buy books because I don't like to be on a time constraint of reading them. But if you don't mind being on a time constraint, obviously go to the library. You'll save a bunch of money that way. Last but not least, this one's pretty obvious, but get a side job or a side gig like Instacart, Uber, go be a brand ambassador, which I've done and I actually think is really fun. You basically just go talk to people about a certain brand or hand out promo items at an event or something like that. And I personally like to talk to people, so I think that's pretty fun. But if you don't, you could do something like Instacart or, just get like a normal evening job or something. Anyway, I hope that those tips were helpful and I hope that you're able to save up all the money for your next thru hike. Wish me luck because I'm in the middle of doing the same. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I'll see you all later. Happy trails!